Alright, so we have our plugin activated and we have a menu item for the options, but we haven't created an options form or added any values or anything like that. So we're going to do that now, and that all takes place in this TGP admin function. Now we could put all of our code right in here, but I prefer to create a separate file for this function and just include it. So what I'm going to do is include I'm going to create a file in the plugin directory called the gaming place underscore admin.php. Alright, so let's just want to test it out. So echo admin file, and then here what we want to do is replace this with an include. Alright, so this is going to be a relative, and we want to include the gaming place admin.php. Alright, so let's make sure that that's connecting. Alright, so now we can work in this file. So what we're going to do here is basically create an HTML form. Alright, so I'm going to put this in a div with a class of wrap and also TGP underscore admin. Alright, and then in this div we're going to have a heading. So echo, we'll do an H2, and then I'm going to use language strings. So to do that we need to have this format. Okay, so this double underscore and then parentheses, and then we want to put our text in here. So we're going to say TGP product display options, and then we're going to have a second parameter of TGP underscore tr-dom. And again, this is only for so that people can easily translate the text. That's what this whole syntax is about. And then we want to tack on the ending H2. Okay, so that's our heading. Next we want our form. So form, we'll give it a name of TGP underscore form, and its method is going to be post, and then the action and I'm going to paste this value in. Alright, so basically this string here, this server super global is just a way we want to submit it to this page, to itself. Alright, so that's why we're using this server request URI. Alright, so then we can close this. So that's our opening form tag. Alright, and we're going to have a subheading here. So PHP echo, this is going to be an H4, and double underscore. This will say database settings, and we have to do that TGP underscore tr-dom. I'm not exactly sure what tr-dom stands for. I just know that we need to do that in order for people to translate properly. Alright, and let's do our first field, which we're going to put in paragraphs, and we'll give it a label. So echo underscore e. Okay, so this is just for formatting. In here is what we want the text to say. So let's say database host. Okay, so that's the label. Now we need the input, which is going to be a text field, and the name is going to be db_host, and then the value will be echo db_host. Now this isn't defined yet. Basically, this is just going to be a placeholder if it's found. If we've already entered these values, we want them to obviously show up in the value when we visit the form. So that's what this is. And let's do a size of 20. Alright, so let's just try to take a look at that. Okay. So that looks good. I'm just going to copy this. And the next thing we want is the database name. It's going to be db name. Okay, so the next one is going to be the user. This is the database credentials for your gaming place site, so we can grab the products from the database. User. Okay, now we need password. This is going to be dbpass. Alright, and that's it for the database. Now we have some store settings that I want to include. So I'm going to copy this subheading and change this to store settings, and then I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and this is going to be store URL. Now we're not going to create a database table to store all these. These are actually going to be stored in the options table, which comes stock with WordPress. And that's what's really nice. If you're creating like a Joomla extension or some other kind of CMS, most of the time you need to create your own tables for every kind of extension. But it's really nice that you can actually just store your options in WordPress in the database, inside of the default options table. Alright, so store URL. The next one is going to be the product image folder, because we need to know where to look for the image. Folder path. Okay, I'm just going to call this img_folder. And then the last one we want, the last display field that we want, is going to be the number of products. Okay, we'll call this num products. Alright, and then we also want to put in a hidden value. So the type will be hidden, and the name will be tgp_hidden, and the value is going to be 1. And the only purpose of this field is to tell if we submitted this, if this form was submitted. Okay, because we're going to check for this value. Make sure it's 1. That means that it was submitted. Alright, and then we're just going to put in our button. So input type is button, name is submit, and value PHP echo, I'm sorry, not echo, underscore E, save. And then we need that tr dom thing. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at the form. Syntax error on line 38. Constant escape string 38. Okay, so value PHP save. Oh, get rid of this quote. Alright, so there's our form. I do want to push the input boxes under the labels. So I'm just going to throw a quick CSS class up here, or style. I'm going to say TGP admin. Make it a width of 250. Display inline. I'm sorry, inline block. Alright, so that looks better. So now we have our form. In the next video, we will work on what to do with the submitted data, because right now it's not going to do anything. Alright, so we'll do that next.